What is up, everybody? Nick Lego Stava here, about to bring you a review of Shattered Glass Optimus and Ratchet. Now, this right here is actually a pretty good deal. Let's talk about why. So you get a Voyager, not Nemesis Prime, Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. You get Shattered Glass Ratchet, a bigger size deluxe of a mold that is extremely hard to find. Well, it's not hard to find. It's just scalpers are charging ridiculous prices, $200 for Ratchet and that other worthless recolor of RC. You're stupid if you pay that. Do not pay resellers that much money. Do not pay scalpers that much money. That just gives them more warrant to do it. Don't do it. And I'm going to tell you why I got this, even though I don't love Shattered Glass or typically really care about it. So I got this set of these two characters to repaint this into Ratchet. It's the same mold. You just gotta paint these pieces white and red and just paint over some of this stuff, and then you have Ratchet. And you didn't. Congratulations, you didn't pay a scalper scumbag a bunch of money. They might reissue Ratchet at some point in the future, but I don't really know if I can wait. I'll wait a little bit before I paint this guy, but that's probably what's going to happen to this guy. But let's get into the actual review of these figures to tell you if they're worth it. I will have comparisons. I'll have comparisons with all the other Optimus Primes of this mold. So let's go. So we'll start off with Ratchet right off the bat, since I have not had this mold before. So this is a rework of the Siege Ironhide Ratchet mold, and I gotta say, for the Earth mode, I do like it more. I don't know, so there's just something about it. I mean, I do typically like Earth modes better than Cybertronian modes, but it's great. This right here, they could have made this not clear plastic. That would have added strength to it, and you just wouldn't have had to deal with that probably breaking. That's the biggest negative about this for me. I do have fillers on my Siege one, so I could easily have that way. Use that same kit on here since it's just a rework of that. As well as, let's pop this off here. He does come with this, of course, and then he comes with the top. I actually meant, that's what I forgot to bring in here for the review. I made I made like an Earth mode conversion kit for my Siege Ironhide. I had the 3D printable Earth mode feet for him. I'm going to make my own ultra modified version of these to where you don't have to deal with this finicky toe that doesn't like to stay in. And I had made a top for the van, and I just forgot to bring that in here. I wish I didn't, but it is what it is. So there's that, and here's a size comparison with a 3D printed Ratchet right here. So the 3D printed Ratchet is bigger. I couldn't decide if that was too big for that Optimus Prime. It still seems a little too big. I do feel like this scaling works better, but we'll see. We'll see which one I put on the shelf if I don't decide to paint this guy. Who knows? But, I mean, articulation is literally the same as the Siege. I mean, today's figures. They're well articulated. There's nothing that I'll mention in articulation if something is missing. And, I mean, you have wrist rotation, you have waist rotation. Those are usually the first two to go, which you have them here. This tabbing in here is a little finicky, and it tabs in on one side better than the other. So that's a little worrisome right there. That might break, but hopefully that does not happen. And I would really like to see them work on this figure a little more to make it better and release it in the Studio Series 86 line or something, Ratchet and Ironhide. They make the feet more Earth mode, and they change a few things around, make this not clear plastic, make it regular plastic, and just paint the windshield on, but they're not going to do that. That's just me throwing out ideas there. But this, like I said, will be a pretty easy repaint just into regular Ratchet. I mean, tell me in the comments if you think I should do that. If you think I should just go for it now or wait to see if a re-release of the Paragon Medics are announced somewhere, like Big Bad Toy Store got the Seekers again, which I did end up getting those before the pre-order was over, but then I ended up canceling it because I got a really good deal on OfferUp. So At least there's still some good people, but that can easily be either removed or just covered with a regular Autobot symbol with a repro label. Paint the back on that. So I'm just talking about how easy and simple it would be, but we'll get into transformation after I have more size comparisons for both of them. But here is Nemesis Prime. Why do I keep calling him Nemesis Prime? Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, which is this is the 4th time I've got this mold. People have seen the rants and raves about this mold, but this fixes a few things that the Earthrise Prime did not have. It has the matching color there, unlike the Earthrise, which I honestly wish we would just get a Selects Earthrise at this point that just fixes the color choices on there. I'd probably buy it. I'd probably buy a 5th version of this mold because I'm mentally ill, and that's just how it is. And his blaster is just a dull gray color. It's not even picked out in a silver, so you really think that they could have painted that part yellow there. Still didn't do that. But another thing is on this right here, the Matrix, is it's not really painted up that well either. You know, it was probably because they were like, hey, we're going to release this for a decent price in a 2-pack. I mean, for the 2-pack price, it's not, I can't even get that out of there. But you can see that it's not painted on the sides or the back. It's literally just painted on the front, which is strange. But it's done up in a yellow, so that's what that looks like. You have this cracked glass there. Shattered glass. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. But these legs, let's pull up Netflix. Optimus Prime here. I thought those legs they might be the same color. It could just be a variation in the mix, and then this part is darker. Or, I don't know, you tell me, is that a different shade to me? It's looking the same. It might just be slight variation because the mold changes. And color changes in the mold when they produce the mass. So that's what it's looking like with Earthrise and Netflix Prime. Right there. Boom, boom. As I bump the light. I do have a new video set up. That's kind of why I'm a little bit different here. I'm not used to actually sitting in a proper chair and not sitting on the floor. It doesn't look much different to you guys, but it's different for me. So let's get into transformation on Shattered Glass Optimus, and I'll show you him with the regular Optimus trailer. So you can see that. They did pick out these in the nice silver, like I wish they did with the Earthrise or the Kingdom re-release that they really could have just made perfect. They really could have made that the perfect definitive release. That's why I went off in that video. People just like, oh, it's so good, another release. People can get it. People can get it. And it's like, yeah, people could get it, but you could have just made the changes that so many people wanted for the other one. Like, am I the only one that thinks that? They really could have did that, and they really should have did that. But they did not do that. Flip that head around. Like I said, this is a nice, fun transformation. And there's a little bit of a stress mark in there, if you can see that. But all around, this seems like a decent quality set I ended up with. I also got Run Amok when I ordered this off Hasbro Pulse. And it arrived relatively quickly. I was really surprised this was still in stock. I don't think that people cared about the Shattered Glass as much right now. I mean, once they sell out, I bet everybody will want them and the price will go up crazy. Kind of another reason I picked this up, because I might sell this eventually, but I am going to probably repaint that into Ratchet, like I said. Look at that click. That nice click. Click, click, boom. You'll notice why I didn't flip in the arms. I wanted to do that kind of how it is in the cartoon. Kind of until last, the arms fold in there. Fold in there. I always forget to flip in those little parts of the sides of the chest. Right there. There we go. Nice and transformed. Yellow windows on the side too. Here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime with my awesome painted trailer. Look at that. Wow, look at that. So there's a difference between those two. He just has the lighter silver color, the gunmetal gray color for that. And he also has the painted rims up front, which I really wish they were able to do on the Earthrise or Kingdom. Would have been nice. I did try to do it in silver Sharpie, but it's actually not that noticeable on camera. And I'm about to get cut off and have to do an extension review. Alright, I got Ratchet all transformed up, and I went and got the 3D print stuff for Ironhide, as well as transform the Netflix Optimus so I can compare all three cabs of Earthrise, Netflix, and Shattered Glass. So here we go. Let's start off with the differences between these two here. I do have the 3D print Earth mode wheels on there. I will chrome out the centers eventually. I do want to get TPU material so I could actually have like rubbery tires. But there's what that looks like, my Earth mode top conversion for the Siege. And I also do have the feet, like I said, but I didn't put those on. I want to find a way to match the reds better. I mean, I could paint it, but it would be nice to have the matching reds for the Siege mode conversion. And then I just literally have a piece of blue tape on the inside for the windshield. I do think that looks better for that because you don't see the head directly on the inside. The head is hidden. It's tucked down a little more in here for that difference there. But this just feels bigger. It feels bigger than this. Like a little bit wider than the Siege version here, even though with the Earth mode thing that I did for it. But yeah, definitely going to print out these in white because the white will match better for the Earth mode feet there. That will look way better for when I paint this into Ratchet, which is highly likely for me to do. But there's what that looks like. I mean, it still has the Siege wheels. It just feels like they got halfway into doing the Earthrise version of Siege Ironhide and Ratchet, and they just stopped. They're just like, okay, those wheels are good enough. Those giant feet thrusters in the back they're good enough. You know, we did the top and the front. It's good enough. And clearly it is, I guess, since people are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the resale market for this mold, which is just, for me, that's something I'm not going to do. But let's move on to the comparison. And you know what? I actually seen two Netflix Bumblebees in store the other day when I went to Walmart. I was like, what? And one of them had an absolute perfect face with no imperfections. So I did pick up another one of those. But there's the three there. I do still have the other trailer from the Kingdom one, since I got Kingdom and Earthrise, they were the same. That's why I painted up this one. Look at that. I'm going to do a separate video on that eventually, but look at the differences between these three. I mean, it's literally, they didn't do much, just color changes. But you see that this matches that purple. This needs to match that red up top. You know, and this, they did the blue still, not matching the red right there for the elbow. Could have did it. And I'm working on a 3D print piece to just cover that area in vehicle mode without having to put the blaster there. I think that'll look better in vehicle mode for that. I didn't even click that all the way in the back. But you can just see the differences between the cabs. The Netflix had the painted front rim as well, but the Kingdom and Earthrise did not have the front hubcap painted. So, you know, this is a very niche thing, and I don't know. The Optimus I'm less impressed with, although it did even fix some of the issues I had with that, with matching certain colors to certain things. And I believe that it's supposed to have some writing here. I don't remember what it was from Shattered Glass, but he's supposed to have something there as well. I never even flipped these out for transformation because they just push in so easy. I don't even bother. But yeah, there's that. Is this worth it? I mean, if you like Shattered Glass, of course. I mean, this is a good price point for a Voyager and a bigger deluxe. I do feel that. But definitely a good way to, if you're not afraid of customizing and painting, to get Ratchet, basically, which is what I'm going to do. It's still going to be cheaper by the time I paint this up. I would have had to paint the Earthrise one anyway in certain spots. Like, I'm going to have to paint the red cross on the shoulders, and I would have had to, I don't think I'm going to paint the windows there just so the leg doesn't have it. But to paint the red stripe fully across here, I had to paint that anyway. And I would have had to make the Earthrise wheels and back anyway, so I don't even have to paint those feet. Just those pieces and those pieces. Let's actually show transformation back, since I didn't show transformation into this. These still pop off really easy, at least on that side. So I still haven't fully fixed that since the Siege mold. Wow, wow, wow. So this Also, something I didn't mention about vehicle mode, there's this gap here on mine. I think that's on all of them. There's not much you can do about it, but it's not too bad. But let's flip this up a little bit. Flip. This thing is freaking clicked in there. Damn. That clicks in way more securely than my 3D print one. Wow, damn, that was on there. Wow. And sorry if I'm a little less energetic in this video. It just happens sometimes. Not feeling very well today, but definitely had to get this video out. I do have 5 videos pre-recorded and ready to go for other videos, but I did get this in the mail and I was like, I'm going to push this ahead of those videos and put this out the same day I recorded it. There we go. So I still have 5 videos recorded in the old setup, which I think people are really going to like one of them because it's really helpful for... Wait, why the hell did I do that? I really just untabbed that and flipped it back around to the same spot like a dumbass. Alright. Why? But a nice, simple, fun transformation. I do really think that the transformations for the newer Transformers lines, for the most part, are done pretty well. Pretty well. Smartly done. There he is without his backpack shield thing. Parts forming. But yeah, this... I mean, you could see that it easily just popped off again, so that's still a tolerance issue. That's been happening with this since this, so that's still not fixed. But my thoughts on this, the teal, I actually didn't even notice this teal in the pictures up here. That is going to kind of be a pain in the ass to paint if I do go that route. But if not, I'll just save this set naturally and sell it off in the future when it's worth a little more. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just wish that Ratchet and Ironhide were... It's sad that this, a Generation Select Shattered Glass, is easier to get than the actual Ratchet. What the hell? What the hell? But I'm mentally ill and I really need a Ratchet, so probably gonna paint this. So I don't know if I'm gonna pop that pin out or just paint it. I can get in there pretty decent. I'm glad that this part is not teal. That would make it really a pain in the ass to do. But you'll see that I do have another Ironhide filler printed out. It's just like filler kits. I'm gonna print them out in white for this guy. But they just fill the gaps, you know, this back gap, the arm gaps. Those really annoy me when they do them on the arms, because I do like to do poses with them up. So it's just, that kind of stuff does really annoy me. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, even though you go to the store, you see giant plastic fucking toys for $20 with no visible hollowness. It's really penny pinching. But what do you think of this? Tell me in the comments. This has been 20 minutes of me rambling. I doubt anybody made it to the end, but if you did, tell me in the comments below. Be sure to drop a like, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Check out other videos. If you're new, decide if you want to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. Peace. Bye-bye.